beautiful, blessed people. I wanted to give you a quick, quick update about a couple things. One, when I did my 40-day fast, I didn't know why I was being led to do my 40-day fast, and as I mentioned in a couple of my videos, I didn't realize that our diet, our food, and our body is linked to our spiritual walk. They are very much linked, very much. And that's why the Bible talks about fasting. Some demons don't come out without prayer and fasting, that type of thing. They are so linked. Anyway, when I did my 40-day fast, I realized at that point that I had ailments that could be healed through fasting. And I mentioned what those were: the alopecia, the asthma, the anemia, all healed. My acne went away, but since I started eating again, I've noticed that it's come back, and I have been eating predominantly raw vegetables, and when it's cooked, I try to eat as healthy as I can. I have had junk, but my breakouts happen, I think, sometimes related to some healthy things, some things that are promoted to be healthy. So let's just say that. So I may have to be cutting out more things. My diet would be basically nothing. And as I say that, the concern I have is that I still, in spite of the fact that I've dealt with a lot of the health issues, my issues with eating emotionally are still there. I know this, but I need to deal with this. So for those of you who are prayer warriors, please pray for me. But I had an epiphany today through watching the Fasting Fat Man. If you haven't seen him, if you didn't watch the video where I mentioned him before, I'm going to link his channel in the description box below. As a matter of fact, I'm going to link the video that actually inspired me today. He started off over 300 pounds. I think, I'm going to say about 350. And it was all due to emotional eating. He saw himself getting bigger, and instead of stopping, he continued to eat. Like, he adapted. So if he couldn't touch put on his shoes, he got a shoehorn. When we start to gain the weight, we know we're gaining that weight, and people around us can see it too. Anyway, today's lesson that he posted was just about basically how we see food, and how he's been eating once a day, and that cheat days should not be allowed, because a cheat day is almost like helping someone get off crack and then giving them a little bit of crack on the side, just for good measure, because they've been so great abstaining from crack. You know what I mean? There's really nothing good about a cheat day, because all that you're eating isn't good for you. And he says it much better than I'm going to say it now. I didn't want to take away from what you're going to experience when you watch it. It was so well stated. It's about a half an hour long, the whole thing. And it's just him talking about his experience and what he learned. He's such a wise man. I don't know if he's a Christian or he's a believer, but I do know he's very wise. And he learns a lot through his experience. So he's been morbidly obese, and now he's down to, his journey, as I shared my journey, he shares his journey the same, as a matter of fact, in much more detail, I believe. Anyway, what he basically said was that our bodies are the only thing that we have complete control over. We can't control what people do around us, what they say to us, what they say about us. We can't control our children. We can't control the environment. We can't control all the things around us, but we can control what we consume. That's the one thing. And believe me when I tell you this, I don't want to admit it, but I do know that I did at least have control issues, and I know that our Heavenly Father had to break that off of me, because our society rears women to be strong, everything opposite to righteous, virtuous, and submissive. Okay, and I when I'm given a task, I jump all in, feet first. And so I was very as intelligent as we are as women, we need to learn how to be submissive to our husbands, right? He's our authority in the marriage. So that being what he said, that it gave me an epiphany. Like, you know what? I felt bad about how I raised my children. I raised them to be very worldly, very smart, intelligent, well-mannered young ladies, but they are very worldly, and that's my fault, because that's where I'm coming from. So I can't even tell them, no, don't do this and don't do that, because everyone around them is doing exactly what I was doing. I can't control what they do, but I can control how I behave and what I consume. Now, I was supposed to start fasting today, but I thought, I don't know, some things happened and I thought, I always forget how yucky I feel after I eat junk. So I had some junk today, and again, I felt like horrible. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to start to document how I feel, how I felt after eating like fried foods or too much food or sugary foods, because I never ever feel good afterwards. Anyway, I just want to let you know that's the last bit of thing I need to work on is this thing with eating emotionally. I've gone through a fiery trials, and I don't know if, I think only hell could be worse than what I've had to endure. I really pray that this is as bad as it's going to get for me. I know that the tribulation is going to be bad, but I'm praying that for those of us who sanctify ourselves beforehand, that this is as bad as it will be. We'll experience things, but I know that our Heavenly Father protects us, right? So that's that. In relation to that, remember the link is in the description of the Fasting Fat Man. He's so informative. He inspires so many people. Next, there is my subscribers. I love you guys. You guys are an intelligent, amazing group of people. I got 2 emails from a subscriber. One is related to the video I'm about to do, related to the 3rd video about meat and why abstaining from meat is important. I wasn't going to do it related to the first 2 initially, but I had this revelation a couple years ago about lab-raised meat. And I do believe this meatless vegan meat that they're talking about in all the fast food restaurants is linked to the lab-raised meat and to some other things that I'm gonna put the stuff out there because I don't want this to be highlighted as like I said, conspiracy. I'm just gonna give you the pieces that I got, and then we'll piece it together. We'll piece it together because it doesn't. I mean, it's almost like the Emperor's New Clothes. There's a book or a movie from Disney called The Emperor's New Clothes, where these thieves come in and convince the emperor that they're giving him new clothes, and there's no clothes. So he's walking around the community naked, and they're telling him he looks great, when really they have his money and he's got no clothes on. He's walking around naked. So this is how I see it. Like, people are selling us this idea that you can have vegetable-based burgers that bleed, that taste like meat, and they're not flesh. Really? Anyway, okay, next thing, 5G. 5G is a big deal. People are being more awake now about what 5G is. And I received, one of my other subscribers sent me a petition that's an international petition. You sign you put your name in there, and you, I guess you're identified by your IP address. I don't know. If you don't want to do this, that's fine. I'm not forcing you to, but I just want to let you know that this is out there. It's available to you. People all over the globe are passing this around, and I'm thanking you, Sophia, for sending this to me. I'm linking it in the description of this video. I might do a separate video for this depending on what information I get after this, but it's so important to inform yourself about what they're about to do. 5G is dangerous for our health, for our children. It's not a good thing. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to link it in the description. You can do your own research. I didn't want to make this a long video, but I did want to get the information, some updates out to you. Anyway, hope you are doing well. Remember, you are made marvelously. I love you, and our Heavenly Father loves you so much more. Until next time, be blessed.